Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes Sri Prabhupada. Yeah, Hemi Mataji, you can start reading Mataji.
Sure, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Today we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 48, text 24 to 36. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Deving Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirayat Nastya Prayesu Abhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesa Sanyavadi Paschyata Desatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Text 24. You are that very same Supreme Person, my Lord, and you have now appeared in the home of Vasudeva with your plenary portion. You have done this to relieve the earth's burden by killing hundreds of armies led by kings who are expansion of the demigods' enemies, and also to spread the fame of our dynasty. Today, O Lord, my home has become most fortunate because you have entered it. As the supreme truth, you embodied the forefathers, ordinary creatures, human beings, and demigods, and the water that has washed your feet purifies the three worlds. Indeed, O Transcendental One, you are the spiritual master of the universe. What person would approach anyone but you for shelter, when you are the affectionate, grateful, and truthful well-wisher of your devotees? To those who worship you in sincere friendship, you reward everything they desire, even your own self. Yet you never increase or diminish. It is by our great fortune, Janardana, that you are now visible to us. For even the master of yoga and the foremost demigods can achieve this goal only with great difficulty. Please quickly cut the ropes of our illusionary attachment for children, wife, wealth, influential friend, home, and body. All such attachment is simply the effect of your illusionary material energy. Sukadeva Goswami continued, thus worshipped and fully glorified by his devotee, the Supreme Lord Hari smilingly addressed Akrura, completely charming him with his words. The Supreme Lord said, you are our spiritual master, paternal uncle, and praiseworthy friend, and we are like your son. Always depend on your protection, sustenance, and compassion. Exalted soul like you are the true objects of service and the most worshipable authorities for those who desire the highest good in life. Demigods are generally concerned with their own interests, but saintly devotees never are. No one can deny that there are holy places with sacred rivers, or that the demigods appear in deity forms made of earth and stone. But these purify the soul only after a long time. Very saintly person purified just by being seen. You are indeed the best of our friends. So please go to Hastinapura and the well-wisher of the Pandavas. Find out how they are doing. We have heard that when their father passed away, the young Pandavas were brought with their anguished mother to the capital city by the King Dhritarashtra, and that way they are now living there. Indeed, weak-minded Dhritarashtra, the son of Ambika, has come under the control of his wicked son, and therefore that blind king is not treating his brother's sons fairly. Go and see whether Dhritarashtra is acting properly or not. When we find out, we'll make the necessary arrangement to help our dear friends. Text 36, Sukadeva Goswami continued, thus fully instructing Akrura, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, then returned to his residence accompanied by Lord Sankarsana and Uddhava. Thank you, devotees. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you so much, Hemang Mataji. Hare Krishna, dear Sri Krishna Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Guru Maharaj and Sri Prabhupada Prabhu. Yeah, whenever you're ready, you can start, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Sundran Prabhu. Thank you, Hemangi Mataji, for reading Srimad Bhagavatam today. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yogam Sikshashramekam Purusha Puranam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Sariradari Kripamudittamaham Prapadye Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langete girum yatkrupa tamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So in this section we can see Lord Krishna always whatever little service you do, Lord Krishna remembers, and Krishna is also he keeps up his promise. He keeps his word. So now he told Akrura that once his duties in Mathura is over, then he'll actually come to his home. So Akrura very much wanted Lord Krishna to visit him. Initially, when Akrura brought Krishna and Balram, he invited them. So Krishna said that I'll come back once. This is not the right time, but I will come back later. So now today we are seeing starting from verse number 24. So here we can see how Lord Krishna initially he went to. Yesterday we have seen that he actually wanted to bless um, another. So he went to another house in Mathura to bless a person. She actually was serving Kamsa's kingdom. She was giving her basically. Uh, so her name is said Trivakra. So Trivakra, she was basically serving Kamsa, but when she saw Lord Krishna, she was very much in desiring the Lord, and then Lord understood that she is actually wanted to accompany the Lord, but her also she said, Lord said they'll come back later. So now after bestowing his mercy to Trivikra, now Lord went to Akrura's home. So here, these are the prayers that Akrura is praising the Lord, and also he is elaborating on how the Lord is so merciful. So, so here, from starting from verse number 24, now Akrura is very unique in this case because he's the one who brought Krishna and Balram to Mathura, and he's also very elevated devotee, and Lord gives darshan, Vaikuntha darshan on the way from Vrindavan to Mathura. So here in this verses, all of his prayers are very much very much in alignment with a great Vaishnava, a great devotee, pure devotee who is glorifying the Lord. And he's also saying that how the Lord, Tvam Prabhu Adya Vasudeva Graha Avatirmaha. You are the same person. He's saying that you are the same Supreme Person, and he understands that Lord is actually non different than Lord Vishnu, and he's saying you now appeared in the home of Vasudeva, with your plenary portion. So here, Swam Sena Bharam Apnethum Ihasi Bhume. So So reduce the burden of this earth. Now you have appeared as your plenary portion. So he's glorifying the Lord as Sure Tarams Rajnam. So this word in the purport it's elaborated that so all the demoniac kings slain by Krishna were basically they are all expansions or energies of the enemies of the demigods. So the this is elaborated in Mahabharata, it seems. So here, Mother Earth pleads with the Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu, to relieve the burden of the earth. Now, obviously, Lord, he appears in this earth. He promises Mother Earth that he will actually, in fact, do this. So now, eventually in the war of Mahabharata, Lord Krishna is going to kill many kings. So here you can see that Akrura also is glorifying the Lord in a similar fashion. And now in the next verse, he is glorifying the Lord as how how he has become most fortunate. So because the Lord has entered in his house. So he's giving some specific reasons why, and he's saying that how Lord represents Sarva Deva Pitru Bhuta Nara Deva Murtihi. So this is just one single word is being elaborated. So the Lord represents all the embodied forefathers or creatures, human beings, and demigods, and also the water that purifies the water that was washed the Lord's feet can purify the all three worlds. So generally, when we take birth, we are indebted to so many living entities like the forefathers, the sages, so the demigods. But actually, the Lord represents, He is the origin of everything. So He represents all of these great personalities. Now, Akrura is acknowledging the fact, and so how when we take the Charnamrita, we basically say Akala Mrityaharanam Sarva Vyadi Vinashanam Vishnu Padadokupitva Sirashvatarayami Ham. So that water, not only it saves you from untimely death, but it also purifies the entire three worlds. So and Lord is also considered Jagat Guru Adokshaja Yat Pravishtaha. He is the original spiritual master. He also gives this originally this knowledge to Lord Brahma. Again, he gives to several, acharyas. So in this case, Sridhara Swami is interpreting what Akrura is feeling. So he's saying that although Akrura is an householder, Akrura is saying, although I am a householder, his home has become more pious than the sages who perform austerities because the Lord has personally entered his home. So he is the personification of all the deities who preside over the five sacrifices a householder must perform daily to atone for unavoidable violence. So these five sacrifices are mentioned here like one has to study the Vedas, that is the sacrifice to Brahman, and also one has to do offerings to the forefathers, and also one has to provide certain foodstuffs to other living entities, animals, creatures, birds, beasts, and one has to extend his hospitality to other human beings. That is the fourth sacrifice. And the fifth sacrifice, one has to perform yagyas for the demigods. So these are all five kinds of pancha yajna, five sacrifices that the householder must perform normally to avoid the atone for any unavoidable violence that he has committed to living beings in the home. while living in the home. So, graha means, so while living in the home, we had to do so many things. We had to cook every day. By cooking every day, also we commit certain violence against living entities. So like that, these are the five Panchayagna sacrifice that is mentioned. So now Akrura now is basically feeling that all the personality of God had entered my home. Now all of this pious activities, sacrifices is completely in by receiving the Lord and by serving the Lord, everything is now complete. So that's how Akrura is feeling. So now, um, and Akrura is going on elaborating or glorifying the Lord. So he is glorifying the Lord's aspect of how the Lord, is the shelter and is also the well-wisher of all living entities, and he is also one who serves the Lord. He gets rewarded accordingly. So ye yatamam prapaddante tam tataiva bhajamyaham. So here it says specifically mentioning these qualities of aparam sharanam samiya bhakta priyad. So how he is very dear to his devotees, very affectionate. And also the word Ritagira means very grateful, So in this case, he is mentioning grateful because Akrura did a little bit of service, driving the Lord from Vrindavan to Mathura. So now Akrura is, the Lord is visiting his home, and he's saying that Lord, just for a little bit service, he is very grateful. And Suhuruda Kritagnyanath. So Kritagnya means one who is um, uh, the Ritagira is the word always true to his words. Like he made a promise and now he is coming. The Kritagna is the grateful. So these are some qualities of the Lord that Akrura is acknowledging and praising. So here, um, so we all know that Lord Krishna has promised Akrura that after killing Kamsa, he would visit his home. So now he is keeping that promise, and Akrura is, saying Ritagira, like he is true to his word. All of this. So here one example is given. How that when we often observe that a mother's loving concern for her adult child is not always justified by an actual danger to the child. So here the example is uh, a grown child may be wealthy, competent, or healthy, and yet the mother's loving concern continues. Similarly, a pure devotee always feels loving concern for Lord Krishna, as exemplified by Mother Yashoda. So here, so the relationship between devotee and the Lord, um, even though the example of, even though the child may be very rich, is very competent, healthy, the mother always considers the child well-being, so she always looks after the child well-being. Similarly, a devotee also, when he has a relationship with the Lord, even though the Lord is quite competent, he is the source of all energies, still he cares for the Lord. So this is another aspect of his yoga maya potency, that it makes the devotee think, I should do something, favor for the Lord, thinking like that. So even though we actually cannot, but that is the Yogamaya potency. So here Krura was also feeling like that. So he is, and then Akrura is glorifying how it is now the Lord is actually making himself visible. So Lord can actually, just like Mother Kunti is saying, Nalaksasho Modadrusha Nato Natyadro Yataha. So he can actually put a curtain of Yogamaya and then he can cover himself. But in this case, the Lord is making himself visible and he's praising the Lord as Janardana. He's one well wisher of all living entities. And then even and he's saying how great of a fortune to be able to see the Lord. Even the demigods and one who has perfected the masters of yoga, even they can only achieve after so much great difficulty. So Gati Suraya Sureshai, I mean, very hard to achieve the darshan of the Lord. So he's very grateful. And the Akrura is praying now, similar to what Mother Kunti has prayed. She was praying Pandushu Vrishnishu, like cut my ties of ropes of affection on the Pandavas side and the Vrishni side. Like similarly, here also Akrura is praying that please cut my ropes of illusory attachment. So not so there is a illusory attachment and there is also real attachment. So real attachment meaning we have to be affectionate to living entities. In fact, one of the principles the Rupa Goswami says, Jive Daya, Namaruchi Jive Daya, Vaishnava Seva. So there is we always be very, very compassionate to living entities and we have to serve the Vaishnavas. And so in this case, when he's saying cut the ropes of illusory attachment, it's basically on the bodily platform. So as a living entity, we all have to be very much affectionate to other living entities. We have to serve them. So, but this illusory attachment means one who considers they are the body, and because of that, I have a relationship. That kind of attachment is what Akrura is saying to cut the ties. So, Chindi Ashu. Ashu means very quickly. Please, please quickly cut the ropes of this illusory attachment. And he is saying all this attachment is because of Lord's Bhava Adiya Mayam. So this is the illusory energy of your own lordship. So he's saying that this is your energy. This is your illusory energy. So Srila Prabhupada also prays similarly when he actually comes to New York. He prays to Boston. He prays to the Lord, saying that this is your Maya, your energy. If you kindly desire, you can actually take it, remove it so that the people can understand you. So this is very appropriate because we cannot understand the Lord unless He removes that curtain of Maya. So by praying to the Lord, in a very humble mood, we can actually request the Lord to remove that curtain of Maya so we can actually understand the Lord and see Him. So here, Sukadeva Goswami now continues saying that after elaborately worshipping, Akruras worshipping the Lord, now again Lord Krishna smiles and then he replies. So, Akruram Smitam Praha Giribi Samohayan Iva. So now the Lord Bhaktena Bhagavan Hari. So Archita, like so here in the word Archita is Akrura is basically worshipping the Lord, by glorifying Him profusely is worshipping the Lord. So after sufficiently being worshipped, now Sri Bhagavan Vacha, the Lord replies. So how Akrura is such a elevated person, and he is also his paternal uncle, and he is considering as his guru. So you can imagine the Lord is his devotees. He gives special elevated positions, and he's praising Akrura, and he's just like your sons, always dependent on your protection, sustenance, and compassion. So in this case, the Lord, is in a relationship with Akrura, and he doesn't want to derail that relationship. So he's he wants to be in that relationship, and he's praising Akrura. So, and then Bhavat with a Mahabhaga. So he's praising that how he's most eminent and is also most worshipable authority. So, so even in this material world, the Lord Krishna, to understand Lord Krishna is very difficult. But we can actually understand Lord Krishna by serving the Mahabhagavad devotees, exalted Vaishnavas like Akrura. So it is very easy. So here also Krishna is saying demigods are generally concerned with their own interests. So Prabhupada also mentions this point. Shreyas kamai narabir nityam deva swartana sadhava. So swartha means they are concerned in their own personal self-interest. But the exalted Vaishnavas like Akrura, they are basically well-wisher of the other living entities. So that is why when you become a pure devotee, that attracts Lord Krishna because they go beyond their own self-interest. And in our case, there are two ways, Bhajana Nandi and Goshti Anandi. Like in our Sampradaya, we're always looking for the welfare of other living entities. So it even attracts the Lord's attention. So here, now how the similar verse there is also comes in Srimad Bhagavatam and other places. So the how that the Vaishnavas, the pure devotees, are moving tirthas, tirthas. So here also Mayani tirthani nadeva mruchila maya. So here it says that how there are so many holy places, with sacred rivers. But if you take, like for example, in Mother Ganges, if you take bath, you get purified. But that takes time, sufficient, significant time. But when the saintly persons, when they come, they purify just by, we can see, darshanat eva sadavaha. So by taking the darshan itself, we can get purified. Such um, elevated. So basically, Lord is praising Akrura and also all other Vaishnavas, great devotees, and finally he is giving specific instructions to Akrura and how now the Pandavas who are under the shelter of Dhritarashtra, he is basically, Lord is very much caring, So you can see how Lord specifically cares for his devotees. He understands the situation that the children are under the care of Dhritarashtra, who is not really caring well. Now he wants Akrura to basically go and take care of them. So, even though it looks like the Lord is, he has so much to take care, but he individually cares about individual living entities also, and he makes specific arrangements. So you can see how he's making specific arrangements for the Pandavas, so that they don't suffer under the care of Dhritarashtra. So he, in fact, is also saying how um, the weak-minded, specifically Lord is elaborating all this. He's weak-minded Dhritarashtra is come under the control of his wicked sons. So Duryodhana and all others, and therefore the blind king is not treating his brother's sons fairly. So specifically, he's saying, Gaccha janiti tadvrutam aduna sadav ashadava. So he's saying, please go and um, see whether Dhritarashtra is acting properly or not, to make necessary arrangements for our friends. So, so in this, we can see the Lord is very, very much caring, very much personal, and you can see from these activities of Lord, specifically, he goes to specific houses, he visits his devotees, These are all very personal. So we can understand from this conversation between Akrura and Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna. This concludes the today's verse for today. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Vancha kalpatrubhyasya kripa sindhubhya vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Great work.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sri Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, everybody. Hare Krishna.